Good evening, all. It gives me great pleasure to be here as well. And I'm amazed at what the previous speaker contributed in her natural sense. And it's clear that she was very, very involved in the project, and that the project has met with a lot of success and caused, major contribution to the community. And this is what the project intention is all about when we talk about livelihoods. So I'll greet you formally, talking about, I want to greet the representative of the Green Fund, Ms. Carice Phillips, the project officer, Food and Agriculture Organization, representative of the Forestry Division, other distinguished guests, representatives of the various community-based organizations. Particular mention I would want to make to the president of the Biche Reforestation Agroforestry Group, who just spoke, and you especially, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon's appreciation ceremony is one of the many hatchlings of a dream that was born in 2010. A pristine ecosystem nestled within the tranquil communities of Biche, Cascadoo, Kernahan, and Plumita was in need of dire revival. The Nariva Swamp, Trinidad and Tobago's largest wetland, spanning an impressive 11,343 hectares, was once teeming with life and abuzz with commercial rice farming until the 1990s. Carrying the burden of excessive deforestation and altered hydrological patterns resulting from this practice, the swamp, as you know, became a silent witness to man's destructive connection with nature. What we saw was flooding, forest fires, loss of ecological habitat and species, and a really drastic shift in floral composition from forests to marshes and weeds consumed the terrain. The country's environmental stewards began charting a road to reforestation of the swamp, with its designation as a wetland of international importance under the Convention on Wetlands, also known as the Ramsar Convention. This convention entered into force in Trinidad and Tobago on the 21st of April, 1993. Later on in 2006, after intense consultations and steady stakeholder consultations, the EME designated the swamp as an environmentally sensitive area, securing an additional layer of protection through legislative, enforcement, and public awareness mechanisms. However, the EMA did not stop at this juncture. Since sustainability is a major thrust of the EMA and its mandate, this comprehensive project was designed to not only provide biodiversity benefits, but importantly to drive the development of livelihoods for the surrounding communities. Thus, in 2010, this project was born, namely the National Restoration, Carbon Sequestration, and Livelihoods Project. It became EMA's flagship environmental rehabilitation program. You, the community-based organizations, accepted the challenge and undertook to restore this component through the replanting of 1,339 hectares of forest. We have had over 20 organizations engaged in the project, extending from Grand River in the northeast Trinidad down to Mayaro and in the southeast region. The scope of the activities focused on a holistic farming model whereby EMA facilitated training in activities such as planting, tending, fire suppression, nursery production, and accounting. I am proud to report that there are over 300 persons trained in these specialized areas, 60 of which were trained and certified in financial management from the National Entrepreneurship Development Company Limited, known as NEDCO, community tour guiding from the Trinidad and Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, and proposal writing from the University of Trinidad and Tobago. In 2014, the project even expanded its vision to include a wildlife component with two main sub-activities: the establishment of a wildlife rehabilitation center in Valencia, and the conduct of wildlife surveys across key forested areas in Trinidad and Tobago. The latter involved the use of line transects and camera traps strategically placed along the forest floor to capture the population density and distribution of wild animals, namely the agouti, deer, quench, lap, and armadillo. Some of our community groups here today would have performed much of the groundwork for these surveys, with the results tallied and forwarded to the University of the West Indies for further analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, I could elaborate further on EMA's work, its scheme and its achievements, but the real success story of this project comes from you, your own commitment, and your keen interest in your own personal and community development. Throughout EMA's journey with you, you have shared your personal accounts of how this project has impacted your goals and aspirations. And thank you, Ayana, giving one such account. And one such account comes from the Nariva Environmental Trust as well, the CBO that was instrumental in the return of the magnificent blue and gold macaw to the Nariva Wetlands Ramsar site. The group witnessed a momentous growth in its population from as little as 20 to 107 birds over a mere 4-year period. This has contributed to a positive change in attitudes and encouragement towards the environment among the community members. Another CBO shared with us the positive news that several persons employed under the project have been able to use their income to complete home renovation projects or even start new homes, providing avenues for both men and women to support their family in a financial way, and more so regain their self-esteem, because unemployment does, attach to self-esteem issues. Today, most, if not all, additional services required under the project, such as catering, transportation, and public services, have been provided by you, the CBOs. Furthermore, lifelong support systems have been formed as a result of the project, a value that could never be quantified. Ladies and gentlemen, this project embodies hope. Hope for us environmental management practitioners, and for you, hard-working men and women of your community who toil on a daily basis that the prestige and pristine nature of the Nariva Swamp can one day be restored. Our achievements did not materialize without challenges, of course. It comes with life. And we intend to use these valuable lessons for future restoration models that we hope to replicate across the country. I end with the words of Sir Arthur Helps, a significant and esteemed social reformer and historian. Keep your feet on the ground, but let your heart soar as high as it will. Refuse to be average. On behalf of the Chairman of the Board of the EMA and all of the Environmental Management Authority, I sincerely thank you for your service and wish you a warm Christmas season, filled with hope, filled with love, peace, and happiness. And best wishes for an even brighter future in the new year, 2017. Good luck to all. Thank you.